There are many games that stick in the minds of gamers when thinking about the 80s and the NES. Super Mario Brothers, Bubble Bobble, Castlevania, Excite Bike, Mike Tyson's Punch-Out, and Double Dragon. The classic early beat-em-up was released by Technos Japan in 1988 for the NES. It actually is, unknown to me at the time and for many years after that, an arcade port of the same game. I've never played the arcade version nor ever even seen it, but I'm from a small town, so that's not too surprising, I guess. But let's focus on the NES version. The main title screen is pretty simplistic. You just have 4 player options, 1 player A and B, and 2 player A and B. The difference between A and B is that if you play the A game in 2 player, you can't hurt each other. If you play in B mode, you can hurt each other, which is kind of stupid, but I guess some people like the challenge. You're not really given storyline for the most part, except that some bitch gets knocked out by a gang of thugs, and they hoist her up and take her away like ruthless street shit cavemen. Strangely, I never noticed that Bimmy Lee, who is the other Double Dragon, is actually part of this gang, and is the final boss of the game. It doesn't make a lot of sense storyline wise because in the second game, The Revenge, you and Jimmy fight together. So either he just wanted some ass from Billy's girlfriend and decided to get some via near gang rape, or the geniuses at Technos messed up somewhere. How come the first thugs you fight have big bug alien eyes? Is this fucking Contra 3 now? Yeah! Notice when you get punched, Billy looks like he's screaming, like, "Ah, you hit me, asshole!" So it's a pretty simple game. Just run around and kick the shit out of everyone you meet. You have the standard health gauge and 3 lives. That's it. Luckily, there's only 4 stages in the game. You'll need every one of those 3 lives if you're gonna make it. Below that, you have the heart bar. Now, what this does is every 1,000 points, you gain another heart. And with additional hearts, you can perform a larger variety of attacks like kneeing someone in the damn face or uppercutting. By hitting A and B together, you can also jump or do a jump kick, which is good for taking out larger enemies. At your disposal is a small arsenal of weapons which you can use to kick even more ass, like barrels, whips, knives, and bats. At the end of each stage, you'll face a boss character who is usually 2 to 3 times bigger than you, like this Tejano motherfucker who you just kick his ass off the end. Actually, what's his name? Adobo? No. Abobo. That's it. Or enemies that far outmaneuver your attacks. The dynamite is funny as shit, just because getting hit in the face with an exploding stick of dynamite and getting right back up shows just how tough Bimmy Lee is. Anyways, you get to the end, fight a bunch of dickheads, fight your twin brother Jimmy, and rescue your bitch. The universe is at peace. The second game is one of the creme de la creme for the NES in my book. The graphics are better, the music is better, the combat is better, the fucking flying knee has been added. Double Dragon 2 was released by Technos in 1989 and it was a big hit back in the day. You're given the same type of game selection at the beginning, but now you also have an additional difficulty setting. Also new to the sequel are the short story sequences that take place in between stages and help advance the storyline. a welcome addition, and they're fun to watch. You'll notice first off about the graphical overhaul. It almost looks like an SNES game. Come to find out, this is because Technos added a secondary chip inside the cartridge to handle the sprite detailing. Why more NES games didn't do this, I don't know. There's no heart gauge this time, so you'll have all the attacks possible straight out of the gate. Kneeing, spin kicking, uppercutting, flying knee to the head, it's all here. All the weapons also return for the most part, although the whip has been slightly altered so now it's a spiked mace on a chain. Steel pipes and grenades have also been added. With 4 stages in total, the game is the same length as its predecessor, with the final boss fight being identical. Now on to the good stuff. First gripe is at the spin kick, a move which you might recognize that became popular in a game a few years later. Is a tad overpowered since you can kill almost any enemy by hitting them once with it. The steel bars are hilarious to throw at enemies because of the bouncing metal sound they make. Kicking or punching an enemy into a wall results in them bouncing off it, which makes me laugh like hell. Lastly, probably the funniest attack ever put into an NES game, the flying knee. I end up laughing all the time whenever I hit anyone with it because it sends them flying into fucking orbit. Son of a bitch! Okay, so what's with the first level boss? Is he the missing third member of the Legion of Doom or something? You know, that tag team group from the WWF like back in the early 90s with Animal and Hawk? Except he's only got a mask. And look at when he grabs Billy and punches him in the stomach. I mean, his fist like flattens his body out to like a centimeter thin. He's like, oh, gut shot, gut shot. Yeah, did you know that Arnold Schwarzenegger is also in this game? He plays a boss on some of the stages.
Yeah.
He really kicks the shit out of you sometimes, though, especially with those spikes on the ceiling.
Yes! One of us is in deep trouble.
And then he's throwing you off the tractor, too.
No deal. Yes!
Overall, Double Dragon and its sequel Double Dragon 2 The Revenge are both great NES games. They're lots of fun to play, they're very funny to play, they make a great addition to anybody's collection. Check them out.